Hey Andy, in this video I'm going to show you 3 things that you can do today to help bring in more customers to your business. My name is Seleni and I work with business owners across the state of Utah. Like I said, I'm up in Utah County myself, but I put together this quick custom video for you just about your online presence and specifically how you stack up against your competition. I'm sure at this point you're sitting there asking yourself, well, why would she be doing this and what's the catch? Well, that is a fair question. What I have found is that most local business owners are just too busy running their business. They're swamped with payroll, helping customers, answering questions, dealing with employees, and just staying on top of jobs that many times learning how to leverage the internet to benefit their company just gets buried underneath all of the other to-dos. And let's be real, half the time the only reason people haven't hired somebody yet is because they don't know who to trust or know who is truly an expert. And that is exactly why I make videos like this. I have found that by giving people an easy, free attack plan of actual things that they can do to impact their business, again, for free, it has resulted in some of those local business owners still raising their hands and saying, hey, I like you, Seleni, can you please just handle this for me? So if by the end of this video you've liked what you've heard and can see that I've got a lot of tricks up my sleeve that can help your business, shoot me a message back and we can chat. Or if at the end of this video, you just want to take this free attack plan that I gave to you and do it yourself, that totally works for me too. Now, let's cover the 3 things that are going to set New Wave above your competition. First will be content, second, citations, and third, backlinks. So before we keep going here, let me just go ahead and get my face out of the way here. So we've got a full screen. Okay, first up is content. So since Google isn't a human, it doesn't just know what you do. It has to be told through your content. So let's see here. Sorry, I got distracted. I thought my my video stopped. I wanted to make sure it was still rolling. Okay, so it needs to be told what you do through your content. So content is basically going to be considered anything here that you can see on your homepage that is highlighted. So this can be your text, it can be pictures, what your pictures are saved as, what's behind the pictures, all of that can be considered content. Now, to give you an example of what I'm talking about here with like the images, for instance, let's go ahead and do like a right click, save image as, and I can see exactly what you've got this image saved as. So right now we've got it just as a bunch of like numbers, letters here. I'm sure, let's see, it looks like I'm not able to save those other ones. We can even jump down. See if it will let us save these images, just get an idea. Same thing here. So instead, this would be a great way to be able to leverage high volume keywords by using those here in your detailed image descriptions. Again, all of these things are things that Google bots can read and get an idea of what is this business, what services are they offering, what areas are they targeting, and that is going to position you in the search ranking. So the goal is having unique and authoritative content, and you need to have enough of it to be able to add in the right keywords and phrases that people are searching for in Google in order for somebody to find the services that you offer. Most business owners do know that they need content, but what they don't know is that in order to rank #1 on Google for like home builders, pool builders, the average content count is 2,000 to 2,400 words on your homepage. Again, while making sure that it has the right keywords and phrases that your customers are actually searching for. Now, when I went ahead and copied all of your content here from your homepage and plugged it into my tool, I can see that your website is sitting around 532 words here on your homepage. So that would be a great way to help boost your content by increasing your content count and again, having the right keywords and phrases. Now we're actually going to jump over here into one of my tools. It's called Ahrefs. We're going to jump over, well, I guess actually before I do that, let me just show you really fast. I've got pulled open here one of your top competitors there in the St. George area. It's S&S Homes for home building. And I went ahead and plugged in their URL here into my tool. That way we can kind of give it a comparison. And we can see here with this overview here, we can, with this tool, I guess let me start out with that. With this tool, it's really awesome. It gives me just behind the scene details that Google is looking at when it does come to ranking a site. So I can get a really good idea of what's working well for you and for your competition. So again, I've got their URL plugged in here. I can see that their website is being found for 303 keywords that people are searching for in Google. And I can see roughly what type of traffic their website is driving in right now. Now we're gonna go ahead and actually dive in specifically to their keywords, and we can take a look at the exact keywords that they are ranking for and what your customers are actually searching for every single month. Now to also make this just a little bit easier to find, I'm gonna go ahead and type in St. George just so they're highlighted. It makes it a little bit easier to find here. But right off the bat, I'm seeing a few things here. I want to pay attention to this position column, this volume column, and then the keywords here. So we're going to pay attention to St. George specific, and we're going to pay attention to the ones that are not branded. As you can see, this is their name there for a branded keyword. So we're actually going to pay attention, for instance, home builders in St. George, Utah. That key term is being searched 100 times every single month, and they're ranking in the first couple of positions here on Google for that. Similarly, builders in St. George, Utah, also being searched 100 times every month, also landing in one of the high ranking positions. St. George home builders, 90 times every single month, again, high ranking position. Home builders St. George, Utah, 90 times every single month, again, high position. Last one here that I'll highlight, home builders St. George, 80 times per month, also high ranking position. Now, just looking at those numbers alone of how many people are searching for home builders here in that St. George area, what would happen to your business if you were getting all of that traffic, or even just a percentage of that traffic? Now, if we jump over here in the same tool, I've actually got your website URL pulled in right here, and we're able to see the exact same overview. I can see how many keywords your website is being found for, which unfortunately right now is 0. And then I can see how much traffic roughly your website is driving right now, which according to my tool shows 0. So obviously it would do us no good to jump in here into the keywords, because there's really no keywords that you're being found for right now. Compared to what we just saw with your competitors of all of the places that they are ranking for the different key terms that customers are actually searching for. Now, I also understand that you guys do both. I mean, you do commercial, you do home building, and you also do pool building. So I wanted to take the opportunity to also just link in a little bit of the pool side as well. I actually pulled open who's ranking number 1 as pool builders in the St. George area, which is Cutting Edge Pools. And I wanted to just briefly show you here what they are showing up here in my tools as well. Again, similar overview. We can see they're being found for 33 keywords and roughly what type of traffic just that alone is driving in. Again, if we dive into their keywords, let me go ahead and type in St. George. The biggest one that they're being found for right now is the pool builders St. George, Utah. That term alone is being searched 70 times per month, and they're ranking in that top position. And I also just wanted to show you their website actually isn't even being found for all of the key terms possible. And this isn't even an exhaustive list, right? This is just a few of them. But just for the pool building alone, St. George pool builders also being searched 70 times. This is the same key term that we just looked at that was 70 times per month. Pool builders in St. George, Utah being searched 40 times per month, and St. George, Utah pool builders 40 times per month. So between these volumes, as well as all of those volumes that your competitors here just for home building are being found for, I just see a huge opportunity that you're missing out on by your website not being found for any of those keywords and not ranking at all for any of those terms that people are searching for. So I just want to make sure that you can kind of see what's possible for your company and what type of traffic you guys are missing out on by not being optimized for those terms here on your website. So again, first thing for you to do to help beat out your competition is getting this website to a minimum of 2,000 words on your homepage using the right keywords. So it's keyword-rich content. This is what's helping drive your competitor's business, and it is 100% beatable if you get this done. Now, we're going to actually jump over here into Google and jump into the second important thing that we're going to talk about here. First of all, I just threw in one of those high key terms, the home builders St. George. And first up, you can see here, of course, is the ads section. Here's the thing about ads. Ads can work, but they can also be a huge money pit if your foundation, like your website, isn't dialed in, or if customers are using an ad blocker. So just be really careful to not burn through your money with Google Ads until you know for sure that your website is going to convert. We're actually going to jump down here below that, though, into this area, the coveted map section. This area has a lot to do with the second important thing that we're going to talk about, which is citations. Now, you're probably asking yourself, okay, great, what is a citation and why do they matter? Well, great questions. So this is called the Google Map Pack. I'm sure you've seen it. You've probably used this section, and maybe you've even thought, how in the world can I get my business up here in the top 3 spots? Well, that is a great question, and that's what I'm about to show you here. So Google, the number one thing that Google looks at is a thing called citations. So what is a citation? Well, it's just your business name, address, and phone number listed on a bunch of online directories like these. Having citations like this helps Google to be able to verify your business, and then it gives relevance to your local business. So in order to push your business up here into the top 3 organically without being sponsored here, it's to increase your citation game. When you get more citations than your competitors, especially from authoritative and industry-specific websites, your credibility boosts, you gain more trust from Google, therefore pushing you here to the top above your competition. Now, you might be asking yourself, Great, but how do I actually do that? Well, there are paid tools like White Spark and Bright Local that'll tell us exact directories your competition is listed on, and then we can go out and match those. But of course, we don't want to just match them, we want to dominate them. What we've seen is that with most home builders or pool builders that are ranked to the top, they're usually around 200 to 350 citations. So if you're pushed down below that, maybe second, third, fourth, fifth page, or maybe not even showing, not sure where you're at here, then you might only have 10 to 30 citations. So we not only need to go get those citations to match your top competitors here, but then we need to beat them out online. Now let's talk about the last thing that I wanted to go over with you today, which is backlinks, or often called link juice. This third pillar is really gonna help you dominate. So again, when I searched home builder St. George, and then we scroll down below the ads and below the map pack, we get down into this section. This area is called the organics listing section. Now, we can see here your site is not ranked number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, anywhere here on the first page of Google. Now we know that this is where we want to be. Google statistics have shown that the top 3 spots on Google get about 75% of the clicks, meaning that most of your potential customers are choosing one of these first 3 results and are never making it down to your listing on your website. So in order to get here, you need to beat out your competition in every aspect. You need authority. So how do you get authority? Well, this is where backlinks come into play. Simply put, a backlink is when one website links to another website online. The easiest way to think about this is thinking about it almost like a popularity contest back in high school. You want the coolest, most popular kid to be recommending you. So in this popularity contest here, the business with the most relevant link juice and authority wins. And I do say relevant because not all backlinks are created equal. So you guys are home builders, right? You wouldn't want to have a backlink from an ice cream shop linking back to you, although that would be tasty. I do love some good ice cream. That backlink would be really useless to you and could actually hurt your website. But having a backlink from like a local blog or industry specific site linking back to you, that would be much more effective. Now again, let's jump over here into my Ahrefs tool again, and we can see we've got your website pulled in here. I can see you've got 3 backlinks being pointed back to your website. It's not bad. I mean, it's more than 0, but it's not dominant for you. Now, if we jump over here into your, again, home competitor, this is SNS Homes. Let's jump back to their overview. They've got 1,700 backlinks being pointed back to them, and some from very strong, relevant sources. And just pulling up the home or the pool builder, Cutting Edge, they've got 202 specific just for the pool building there. So just kind of give you an idea here, they've got that strong popularity contest basically working in their favor here. And again, you might be asking, okay, well, how do we get these? Again, here with my tool, I can jump in and I can see the exact sites that they have linking back to them, and I can go out and get the exact same sites, if not better, and be able to beat them. This is very beatable with time. Now, getting you to the top of Google here, it is not magic. It is just a tried and true method. And I have shown you that exact method here today. Now, in closing, again, the 3 things that you can do today to help grow your online presence is first, focusing on your content, getting your front page to at least the 1,500 words with the right keywords and phrases that people are actually searching for in your area so that your company gets found. Second is citations, just making sure you get your business name, address, and phone number listed on as many online directories to beat out your competition by a landslide. And then third, of course, is backlinks, making sure that you get more good relevant sources pointing back to you to show Google that you are the authority. Now again, if you implement these strategies today, you can be number 1 across Google. Now, I'm sure you're wondering at this point, okay, well, what now? Well, you really have a few options. If you feel like you cannot handle any more clients every month, then that is absolutely fair. If you could just send me a quick note back telling me you watched the video, tell me your thoughts about it. I would really appreciate your feedback. On the other hand, if you are ready to grow, you can take this blueprint and implement these 3 strategies on your very own today. I gave you the exact formula that businesses pay tons of dollars to have, and it is all yours to use to help your company. Now, if you found this information valuable, and if you are still one of those business owners to still raise their hands for the most effective route, just respond to my email. We'll set up a time to chat. Once again, my name is Seleni, and I look forward to your email, Andy. Have a great day.